Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to talk about some makeup products that I hate that everybody else seems to love. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Most of these products I just really don't like for one reason or another, and there's a couple of them that I don't hate necessarily, but I just do not like, I just don't get along with, and I just can't make them work for me. So I thought we would talk about them today. So the first one is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I mentioned, I believe in a recent speed reviews, that I really hate this. I picked up a mini and I thought it sounded so wonderful. Everybody raves about this. Everyone has said how good this is, and one of the biggest people who talks about how wonderful this is Tarte. So I thought I must love this. This must be just gold, and it's not for me. It is not it for me. For me, no matter what I do, whether I just kind of rub it onto the skin or if I really just press it into the pores, no matter what I do, it makes my foundation pill. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong, but I have been testing this for over a month very consistently, and I cannot make this work no matter what I have tried. I am so grateful I picked up a mini, because that would have been a large waste of money, because I do not like this primer. Another primer that I am trying to finish up, I've actually just added it into my project pan because I don't want to waste it. I want to get it used up, but it is the Milk Hydrate Primer. Everybody loves this, but I mean, all of these products are pretty well loved, but I've definitely used a good chunk of this. Now, I hate the stickiness of this. I know that's the point of the product. I know that. I know it's supposed to be super sticky and it will really cling to your foundation. And I do think it does a good job that way. I do. That's probably why I've used as much as I have and why I've actually just committed to using it up. But the stickiness actually bothers me because I don't actually like touching makeup. Eyeshadows don't bother me, but foundations, concealers, things like that, I do not like using my fingers. So the texture just kind of bothers me. But also, this is a more finicky primer. I do find some foundations it does cause to pill. So I don't like that. I don't like having to think about it. And yeah, it's just a little too finicky for what I like. So I just don't like it. I don't like how it feels on my fingers. I don't like that I have to be so careful about what foundation I choose. And yeah, overall, it's just not worth it for me. I have so many primers that I like so much more, so this is just not it for me. One eyeshadow formula that I don't necessarily hate, but I feel like everybody raves about how good these little palettes are, and I feel like I'm just kind of over here like, yeah, they're fine for what they are, but I don't think they're earth-shattering. It is the e.l.f. Bite-Sized Quads. So, like I mentioned, these are fine. I have this one. This one is rose water. I also have cream and sugar. They're fine. Are they a good formula for a drugstore? Yeah. However, I am a bit of an eyeshadow snob. I will admit that. I do tend to prefer high-end eyeshadow formulas. The only affordable brands I do tend to really enjoy would be, say, BH Cosmetics or ColourPop, the new Maybelline. Well, it's not new anymore, but the Maybelline Nudes of New York, that one's fabulous. But this is just fine. It's not earth-shattering. I'm not going to choose to reach for these over any of my other palettes. I don't understand the hype behind these. I mean, I understand that they're super, super affordable. I understand that they're cute. I just don't understand the hype that people are just constantly raving about these. I just don't get it. The next product, I feel like most people really do genuinely like this one, and I understand the reasons why. Very few people have I heard say they don't like this. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. The people who love this tend to really love its longevity and tend to love the tone. I absolutely agree with both. I do think The tone of this is perfect, but I also think that Mario is an absolute genius when it comes to color, and that's why I would expect nothing less. However, this also does last all day. When you put this on, it is going to be there until you take off your makeup. What I don't like is how hard I have to work to blend it out. Is just, I don't have the patience for that. And I also just don't like having to work that hard to blend things out. I like things that blend out really easily. That is just my preference. I also really dislike the brush that it comes with. I don't find that this helps the situation. So I don't know. I just think this is overrated. A concealer that people have been raving about for years and that I just don't like is the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. So I thought I would love this because everybody does, and it is, you know, it's a high coverage concealer. You get a ton of product. I thought I would love it. What I don't like is that, one, I do find it a bit dry, and two, it pulls yellow. It pulls yellow, which is a huge pet peeve of mine, which I mention on so many different occasions. I understand. I read something about the majority of the world is more warm toned, so that is why some foundation brands will gear their products toward warm tones. I don't know where I heard that, but I found it really interesting. I'm not warm toned, so this does not work for me. I don't like it. It's too dry. It's too yellow. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't bring me joy, so this is one of those. Okay, 2 foundations. The first one, I'm not sure is one that everybody loves, but I feel like I've definitely heard people say good things, and I cannot stand it. It is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. I wanted to love this. In the worst possible way, I wanted to love this. I love the convenience of a foundation stick. I love the idea behind it. I am still on a journey to find the best foundation stick. I just haven't had it yet. This is really, really dry, and if you have any dry patches, it will emphasize them, it will stick to them. It is not flattering on dry skin, so if you do have dry skin, stay away from this. If you have oily skin, you may like it, but if you have dry skin, this is just not it. Okay, the last product that I don't necessarily hate, but I'm just not in love with is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. So on one hand, I like the coverage that you get from this. I like the coverage. On the other hand, this is a full coverage foundation. It is very, very matte. And for the most part, her shades tend to pull yellow. So that really annoys me. The first one I had was the shade 3 Cool, and that was just, in my opinion, just very yellow. I ended up getting this one in a BoxyCharm in the shade 1 Cool. Much better shade match. So this one doesn't pull nearly as yellow, which is great. That made me happy. But the only way I can really get this to work for me is to add in a drop of oil because, again, it's so, so, so dry. I think this is a great foundation for being on camera. It's full coverage. It really perfects the skin. Everything just looks super pretty and healthy. So I think this is a really good foundation for being on camera. It's not a daily foundation for me. That is it for me today. I hope we're all still friends, but thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. And that's it for me today. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.